This is a video on a hack for a DXG 125V. As you can see, it's a small, compact camera. The light's not as good as it could be in the room here, so it's going to be a little bit fuzzy, but I'll do the best I can to help you out. Start off by removing the screws. I've already removed these two, but there's one there and there's one there. You will then remove the remainder of the screws. This is a weatherproof camera. I had removed the front there because I'm going to be modifying this later for a IR exchanger. Not on this file, but I'm working on that. So what you do is you take off the black. You're going to take off the black plastic gasket that goes around the outside of the camera, and there are screws which are easily seen all around the camera. Take those out there. Lift that up. You can get to that easier. And you just pull that off there and lay it to the side. Then what you're going to see is screws then all along the edge here. So you're going to go ahead and take those out. In essence, you're taking out all the screws that hold the camera together. I have a little screw there that I forgot to remove earlier. And there's a screw that holds this microphone piece on. Just take off and remove that entire piece. So you have a screw there I've taken off, and there's little ridges here where it claps and makes this weatherproof. Again, you just remove all of the screws. It's a pretty rugged little camera. Okay, you got all the screws removed. Now flip open the battery compartment door and then work your way around the edges. It's sealed pretty good, but it comes apart fairly easy once you get to that point. Okay, you lift off this, and you can see there's a rubber gasket that runs all along the inside of the camera there. Now this is the board that we're actually going to hack into for shutter and power controls, but we're going to set this aside for the time being and move into the IR hack. Remove, there are 4 screws here, one here, 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 and there. So we're going to remove those 4 screws. I like to keep the screws separate as you go so you kind of know where they go. And there's the camera. The biggest drawback to the 125V is that it does not see light well at all. So right now I'm showing you a stock lens IR conversion. You would definitely need some pretty high powered arrays. I like to use 2 of the BF arrays with the builds that I have. The earlier prototypes did not see light as well, but the preliminary testing that I've done on the retail. Now what you do is you insert your thumbnail here, lift out where the ports are on the plastic piece just a little bit, and then gently wedge the body of the camera out. There's your mic right there. Just pull it out of the mic holder, and then I just turn it in there because that's what I'm going to use for my hack later. Odds are, because these wires are pretty loosely soldered in right here behind the board, you're probably going to have to resolder those at some point. But what we're looking at is, and I'm going to switch it to macro for a second. What you're looking at here is that's the lens. Teeny tiny lens. On the earlier prototypes, this was actually glued on. Now it is screwed on. So you have to go back onto the other side, and again, it's a fairly easy procedure there. You have screws there and there that you remove to lift out the LCD, and then there's a clip on the side there and a clip at the top, which is not all that important, but they'll lift right out. So I'll switch this back off of macro. But as I was saying on the light with the BF array, it's a great little unit, and 2 of them will be sufficient. You should be able to get 15 yards. You're going to have a spotlight effect because of the lens on this camera. It's an f2.8, and I think it's a 2.9 millimeter focal length. It could be a little bit more. Alright, on the back here, you have a screw there and a screw there that you have to take out. I will take that out and that out. Okay. Set my screw over there. Now, the LCD is there. Underneath, you can pop the LCD screen out, and I should have probably done that to begin with to undo the ribbon, but it's taped in there, so you can lift that out. Okay, tape is right in here, just a little bit tacky. Just make sure you don't hurt the ribbon there. Alright, now you will see, I'll switch this to macro again. You will see a screw there and a screw there underneath the speaker. Remove those screws. Be very careful when you're doing this that you don't come anywhere near. There's a ton of resistors and so on and so forth, tiny ones, on this the board. And I'm going to stop the video at 10 minutes here and then do a second part because I'll be posting this on YouTube. Anyway, now that you got those screws out, you can lift out your lens. And this is when we start our IR conversion. I like to take something and then just lay it over the lens, and I forgot to switch back off of macro. Just a little piece of something, lay it there that's not dusty, and now we're going to go ahead, stop this, and the next segment will go into the lens conversion, but it's a fairly easy way to do it.